Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm Kari Lee, and we've served with high school and middle school ministry across the country, and we're here to talk about a very hard subject. It's really not that hard, connecting with parents.
So let's talk about connecting with parents. Parents are God's plan A for the spiritual development of your students. Plan A, that means they come first. We are plan B, we walk alongside them. Remember, the most important influence on a middle schooler's life is their parents, and that's why they're plan A.
Don't be intimidated. All three of our students, or our children, helped in ministry later. And so when I asked one of them, what would you recommend if you could do it all over again? Our youngest daughter said, I wish I wasn't intimidated. I wish I could have made those phone calls. It's just a phone call. You're talking with another adult. Just write your script, put down what points you wanted to cover, talk to them, listen to them, and don't be afraid. Your role is to partner with the parent.
And how do you do that? Ask a lot of questions. What are they interested in? What subjects do they like in school? How do you see your student? Another thing, in the beginning of the year, the summertime is over, and now it's going to be a brand new season. Give that parent a call. What's changed over the summertime? What have they been interested in? What did they do? Catch me up on that student, and then that way I can partner with you to do a better thing.
Don't assume anything. There are all sorts of parenting styles out there. You are going to have the very active parent who wants to know every single thing that's being done with their student. You are going to have the drop-off parent, the person who drops off their student and comes pick them up when it's done. You are also going to have the parents that you'll never see, the ones that come with another student and they never show up for anything. Just understand that everybody is different.
The first call is that initial connection. Connecting with them, meeting them. It could be awkward. You can ask them all kinds of different things. You can ask them what service they come to. You can ask them if they have any friends of their student that comes along with them. Just things to get the conversation started. One thing I always like to ask in the end is there anything else you'd like me to know about your son that would help me to be a better small group leader? But then after that, follow up. And that's where you grow the connection between the parent and yourself, which again, tightens that bond with the student.
I've coached many small group leaders also, and I just want to throw out there also that there are leaders that have been there 30 or 40 years. There are leaders that are there for 6 months, that have never done this before. High school leaders that come in with this great energy level and what I call the coolness factor. They come in there and these students just cling to them and learn and connect with them. Sometimes those students still have to make that phone call to the parent. And as I said before, our youngest daughter, she was so fearful, but once she connected with them, it was mind-blowing. She was just amazed how nice it was. One other thing besides this phone call is just to make sure that talk to the student also about the parent and see if there's other information that you can get in there. You might not realize that I leave on my little notes a place for mom's phone number and dad's phone number. You can't always assume something is the same for every student. So make sure you try to get all the information down. And this is also a good time to add notes to your sheet. Add down things that mom says that Susie really doesn't like to do this, or Tommy likes to do that, and just put it on your spreadsheet as well. It's individual on that one. So initially in the beginning of the year, you really want to make sure you connect with the parent, especially before you start calling a student. And so that's step one. Step two, you want to make sure you connect on a regular basis. That can be a phone call, an email. Now that you have the parent's phone number, a text message might be simple. You can also meet with them. If there's not a meeting directly after your service and there's two leaders, walk out with one of those students. Walk out till they find their parents and just say, hey, I'm Kari. Nice to meet you. I'm your daughter's small group leader. It's a great way. They put a face with it on who's calling them on the phone all the time.
Two things to avoid when you're talking to the parent. First of all, This is not the time to play the role of the cool non-parent. Remember, you're their ally, you're partnering with the parent, with that student, and so you want to try to help them make this student succeed. Secondly, never talk down the student in front of the parent. Try to build the student up. Try to say something great about what they did in your small group. Always helps that connection with the parents, and it helps the student grow even longer.
One other thing to avoid, when you are calling the parent, make sure the conversation is about the student, or the information that the parent wants from you about the student. Don't make the conversation about you. You can give them information and tell them what you've done, that you're in the ministry, but you don't need to tell them your life story. Make it about the student.
At the end of the day, we want the parent to be plan A and we're plan B, but know how important it is to be working with that parent to make the life of that student even